Yesterday, Dr. Anthony Fauci, the doctor of death, was sentenced to life imprisonment as a result of a Freedom Watch citizens grand jury, citizens trial, citizens conviction, and citizens sentencing. And I said, we're going to be moving on to hold all of the criminals accountable in Washington, D.C. and throughout state capitals and elsewhere, as well as on the federal bench. Those judges on the federal court in the District of Columbia, both lower court, appellate court, have acted in a criminal fashion with regard to January 6th in particular, making them do forced confessions, also putting them in prison for alleged simple trespass into the people's house. We'll be dealing with all of that. But next on the chopping block, peacefully and legally, is going to be Attorney General Merrick Garland and FBI Director Christopher Wray, who has turned the People's Justice Department into a Hitler-esque Gestapo. Mark my words, they will be held accountable. They'll be brought before a citizens grand jury. I will seek indictments of them for violating their oath of office and perverting the rule of law and the Constitution. And then we will try them. And they'll have an opportunity to plead guilty, innocent, nolo contendere. They'll have an opportunity to defend themselves at trial, but now it's gone too far. Our justice system is corrupt to the core, and these two people are simply criminals and must be held accountable. Now let's talk about what happened with Kevin McCarthy yesterday. He was forced out by Matt Gaetz. Gaetz did the right thing. Kevin McCarthy is a two-faced liar. He's someone who doesn't know how to tell the truth. He's backed his own party, as hapless as it is, up against the wall on many occasions, forcing them to sign budget busting, inflation, creating agreements with regard to spending money, your money, taxpayer money. He also didn't have the courage to begin a real impeachment proceeding against Joe Biden. And it's not just the bribery from communist China, Ukraine, and Russia, but look at what's happening in our borders. That is treason. All these people running across the border, I think there's 250,000 just this month that came across, millions and millions of drug traffickers, human traffickers, sex traffickers, fentanyl, you name it. He didn't have the courage, and it was correct to remove him. Not just because it was a matter of principle, but also practice, and also to send a message to the next Speaker of the so-called House of Representatives that that will not be tolerated. That notwithstanding, your Freedom Watch, our Third Continental Congress, will be declaring independence and seeking to form an alternative government, a new government, not a new nation. None of these people, frankly, on Capitol Hill are worth much of anything, and they certainly have not served the American people, both political parties. But with regard to what the reaction to his removal, you can watch Fox News. Watch them basically excoriate Matt Gaetz and the other 7 who sought to remove and did succeed at removing Kevin McCarthy. And look at the establishment types like Karl Rove, like Ari Fleischer, like a bunch of others who come on there and trash what went on yesterday. There's a simple reason for that, is the Speaker of the House has access to a tremendous amount of money. He feathers the nest. He lines the pockets of the people that he wants to keep loyal and close to the vest. These individuals' pockets have been lined, as well as others in the establishment. And of course, now Fox News is showing its true colors again in saying that this is something that jeopardizes the nation, removing this clown, this dishonest clown named Kevin McCarthy. A clown who even smiled when he was removed. I mean, that's how far removed he is, so to speak, from reality. He's not very bright. And as I said yesterday, and I've said before, when Hillary Clinton was being investigated for the use of an unsecure email server, which gave rise to the death of Ambassador Christopher Stevens and my client's sons, Ty Woods and Sean Smith at Benghazi, what did he say? Oh, this isn't for real. We just want to damage Hillary Clinton. The guy was simply a moron. And even on that basis alone, he should not have been Speaker of the House. And in fact, that investigation went into the tank. It was buried. Trey Gowdy, who holds himself out on Fox News as being this great independent intellect in terms of what goes on, a principled individual, was head of the committee that took a dive on the Benghazi investigation. So keep that in mind when you watch him on Fox News. The guy's a complete fraud. But that's the basis, and I'm talking strong, of our so-called government. Frauds, criminals, court jesters, top to bottom, This is why we need a new government and not a new nation. It's why you need Freedom Watch to uphold the rule of law, the people's law, and to mete out justice. So I want you to go to freedomwatchusa.org, contribute to our cause with tax-deductible contributions. We need more lawyers. We need more paralegals. We need to get more office space. We need more resources to succeed on your behalf. And get my book, It Takes a Counter-Revolution, Wake Up America. It's Larry Klayman's non-communist manifesto on how to save this country. And if you have any ideas that you want us to take into account, you can contact me at leklayman, Klayman, at gmail.com. And if you're interested in being a citizens grand jury with regard to the upcoming grand jury proceedings with regard to Attorney General Merrick Garland and FBI Director Christopher Wray, who have turned the Justice Department into a virtual Gestapo, then contact me at that email address as well, leklayman at gmail.com. We will send you a questionnaire to see whether you qualify. The basic qualifications are you have to take an oath that you'll be fair and neutral, and also that you haven't been convicted of a felony. But if you were, we'll still analyze that, because in our corrupt legal system, it's very possible that you were unjustly convicted. That's my message for today. Remember, the Father and Son will only help us if we help ourselves. Please join Freedom Watch's Justice League. It's your only hope to save this country. I'll be back tomorrow with another special podcast. Thank you for listening to me.